Hi everyone, McBeard here, back with another Commandos Horn / Team Leviathan Gaming deck guide, because this is going to be one of the first of many co-op games that I'm going to be placing, because not only do we have a fantastic deck to show you, I also have some very, very high level decision making for a deck that requires it. If somebody handed me this deck and just said do your best, I would not have done very well. But with Green Knight in my co-pilot seat, we started to make some pretty next level plays with this amazing Bran deck that he has put together. There's a lot of ways to play the deck, a lot of ways to win, and a lot of paths to victory, but the end of it is always the same. You have no cards left in your deck and your opponent is begging for mercy. So here we are, Green Knight, discard Bran, and I want to talk about the most important cards first, and I think that means that I'm going to be talking about Coral, which was buffed in the last patch a couple days ago. Coral is a very good card. Coral has changed the way Skellige can now thin to 0. With the change to Darren, we're not really looking at that kind of card for that ability, and it seems that maybe this was the card that Darren died for, because Coral absolutely gets a lot of work done for you and thins your deck, plus gives you points on the board, plus gives you removal, plus has synergy with Bran. She's the best card that Bran can possibly run by a large margin. And the way Coral is working in this deck is that you have cards that you are fine discarding, and usually it's some of these special cards. So the special cards that we have chosen to run are also cards that were buffed in the patch, the 4-point Trophy Catch and the 4-point Spores. Now, Trophy Catch is a very good card anyway, in that for 4 points you can get some removal in the mirror. It kills Herald Houndsnout. Against Witchers, you can sometimes remove an engine at 4 or greater, but usually we just want to get rid of it or discard it. So we do have Haymay Scalds to help with that. We have Burn a Bran to help with that, and of course we do have 3 pings from our leader Bran to help us always fix our hand. So generally, we never want our hand to look too good. That's the backwards way of thinking that I was learning about this deck. If our hand is too good, it probably is, and that means we're drawing into bad cards. We'd rather draw into good cards than unload our bad cards. Thinning to 0, improving the quality of our draws, and getting us exactly what we need when we need it. Coral allows us to do this, and it allows us to do it in style, because you just get 3 points for every discard because you're Bran and you're the man. Outside of that, the rest of this deck is playing more around Geralt Erden being a win condition and Commander's Horn being a win condition. These 2 cards in round 3, which you are always likely to see because you can thin to 0, are absolutely game-destroying cards. Almost every strategy is crippled by one of these cards, and you can run them both. Yada is a really great proactive play in round 1 because you very, very much want her in the graveyard for Sigdriff is Right as a 12-point play. And even with Sigdriff is Right, you will find that Yetta is more often an early round play than a late round play, just because of how devastating your late round plays actually are. Commander's Horn, Geralt Erden, Ulfheden in some matchups just get you so many points, while you also control the board with Enraged Ifrit. You get tons of value out of Morkvarg, the Scalds, the Skirmisher, and Burna, just putting tons of bodies on the board. Let's talk about some of the other cheeky things you can do with this deck. Now, in a lot of games, we did this combo where the opponent is opening up with a strong tactical advantage to protect an engine, and we lead off by using Bran on Count Caldwell or a Trissark veteran, and just playing Hjalmar right into the big haymaker and knocking that unit off the board. Now we're ahead on red coin and our opponent has no tactical advantage. Absolutely devastating red coin play, and if your opponent doesn't play to protect the engines, well, you might as well just remove them. Finally, you have Herald Houndsnout to ensure that in the Northern Realms matchup, Sabrina is a much worse play, but in general, you're playing 3 bodies in a 7-point proactive play that makes Commander's Horn that much better. On the Bronze Core, now you have cards that are just bad cards. These are cards you necessarily don't want to play or you want to use your discards on for extra value later. These are your Trissark Veterans, these are your Haymay Spear Maidens, and this is your Ancrate Marauder. Although likely the Marauder is not a bad card when you play it in its best position, and that's when there's nothing on your side of the board and there's 4 points or an engine to dig into on your opponent's side. So that's the thing. On red coin, your opponent has to either play into Hjalmar or play into Marauder, and it doesn't feel good on either side. So on red coin, you'll find your win rate is pretty good if you draw very well. Outside of that, there's not too much to say. I mean, you need to make sure that you always want to discard. You have 3 bad bronzes, and you don't include the Scalds in this conversation because they're not bad. So you have 3 bad bronzes you want to play, and that usually is the 2 veterans and the Marauder. Then, of course, you have bad bronzes in the form of these special cards, but these are also discards from Coral in the correct round. Plus, you also want to discard Morkvarg as well, and Yetta getting to the graveyard or Caldwell getting to the graveyard one way or another is usually good for Sigdriff is Right and for Hjalmar and Crate. I feel like I summed it up pretty well. We just played 6 games back to back, and I just had one of the Gwent Open qualifiers chatting in my ear for the whole time. So hopefully you enjoy this footage. If you want an extended cut. I'll see what I can do for the patron, but I'll give you 2 awesome games today. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is YouTube, so if you like the video, show me, tell me. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, like typically you actually want your hand to be quote unquote bad, right, in round 1, because you just want to discard all that stuff.
Now I'm climbing through rank 8 right now, so we could see anything at all. Anything at all. And I've been seeing Meave all the time.
So Meave might not be the greatest matchup. I think you can make the matchup better by running D shackles.
All right, so we want removal seems to be the most important thing.
So we've
got
Coral. She can discard the specials. We've got
a Marauder on red coin.
I think the hand looks okay. I would probably mulligan a Spear Maiden here.
Burner.
Okay, so we get Burner. That's pretty huge. Now we might want to consider maybe just keeping the hand, because if you've got a Scald and Burner, you want enough bad cards to discard, right? If your hand's too good and you've got a bunch of discards, then you've got nothing to discard.
We play Marauder into this, I imagine.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid Marauder.
Just keeping engines out of control for this matchup is just
yeah,
important.
The thing I really like about this deck is you can use like the pings from Bran and the discards, and like the pings from Coral to like, it's almost like removal, right? So he leads off with Vita Goat.
Wow. So
we could do a really cheeky play here, right? We could discard Caldwell with Bran and then just Hjalmar it. In fact, we don't even need to discard Caldwell. We could discard the 8-point boy.
Yeah, because it pings with Bran's passive.
So the question is it worth it? And I think it is, right? Because
this is such a huge commitment. This is everything. This is tactical and one of his win conditions, as far as I'm concerned. Like, this seems like
we could even do something even more cheeky, right? We could use the harpooner and just move it to the front.
It's true. It is locked. But I do want to get the point. Getting the points of the tactical out of the way is also pretty good.
Just feels like a bit of a weak play, right? Like I'm more a fan of discarding the 8-point boy here and then going Hjalmar.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think that's the way. Just puts us in a pretty dominant position this round. And it also clears the board, right? So if he plays another engine, we can continue to deal with them with discard damage.
That's you saw that so fast too. I like Hjalmar with Bran gives you just this crazy utility in round 1. And I found that I was playing IF Bowman's Granacora like mid range, where he runs Geralt of Rivia, and that card sees so much play in round 1 because of how many people want to use tactical like early. Okay, so
we could kill this with Coral.
Yeah.
We could kill it with Ifrit. I think I'm more a fan of getting the thing done. The issue is we overkill it, right? Like we discard 2 specials, or we could kill it cleanly.
No, we don't. We kill it one. We keep a charge on Coral if we really want to.
Yeah, if we keep a charge though, it's vulnerable to like a Vez, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And Meave is usually going to be using unicorns as well, so I think it's super vulnerable to leave it there. Honestly, I don't hate the Ifrit here. Because I'd prefer him to play something like a Botchling, right?
We're going to assume Trebuchets, right? So we want to play on the melee row?
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like we're winning this uneven. Like,
yeah, at this point, now that we've denied everything and killed the tactical, it's starting to be pretty rough, I think. And the fact that Coral, like the thing about Coral, like he does want to play Vest, so we might as well not give him the value. But I do like the protection of Coral here.
This is a much better Coral, right?
I would say so, because we barely lose any points.
Yeah, we don't lose any points. We kill it cleanly and we discard both of our specials.
In general, are we looking to play Coral before Berna and before Heime, or is it just a situation where we have really good removal as an option?
Ideally, you just want to play Coral when you can discard 2 specials. And on top of that, it's even better if you play her before the Scalds and Burner, because if you then draw into a couple, there's 4 specials in the deck, like
Yeah.
4 specials that you want to discard. If you then continue to discard specials with the likes of Scald and Burner,
She
it
keeps
keeps triggering
working,
Coral's
yeah.
effect.
All right, so so she's good long round as well.
We
She's
might
not.
want to. I guess we play one more card in the front row, but I think after that we potentially start playing in the range row just to play around Sabrina. So we just discard both specials here.
Total lockdown.
Yeah.
13 points on even at 6 cards is pretty good place to be.
He may be able to start catching up. Oh, because he just passes. He says, "I'm losing this uneven. I'd rather have like a chance to fight for my card next round."
Are we going to give him the chance?
Well,
he
we're
will.
in a really
Yeah.
good spot because
will have a
we
chance.
can just push him really far, and even if he does get his card back, we're going to go into a short round. We should just win. So let's think about mulligans here.
Trophy catch is probably now. If this is going to be a bleed round, at least we could probably get value out of it. But I imagine we just don't want this. But we do have
I
Burness,
would
so
kick Drifter here. It's a good card that we don't particularly have an intention of playing this round.
okay. Commander's Horn is.
No, not Yuta, Sigdriffer.
Oh, sorry about that. That was the other way
It's
around,
okay.
right? Well, should I go for this now then?
I would kick Sigdriffer as well now, though.
My mistake.
So one thing we do have to do with this deck is we do actually have to play a few bronze cards. We've already played one. We played the Marauder.
Yeah.
If we're not including Scalds, that is. So since we need to discard Yuta, well, we don't necessarily. We could just use Sigdriffer to res this 8-point guy. I'd just play the 8-point guy here, front row.
Yeah.
And then just enter, yeah. Because you want to at least wait until they've got some stuff on the board before you start discarding, ideally.
Of course, because then you have wasted pings. I keep forgetting about the passive ability of Bran, as it's always working.
Okay. Probably just play a Scald, right?
Scald into the skirmisher, or yeah, because we would like
I
Mark
guess
Vark
we could
being a play
We
later.
could just go leader onto Skirm first to see what we draw. That should be fine.
Yeah, because this would be the turn that we would probably want to consider even playing or not after this. I'll fit in.
Oh, I think we do. I think we just keep pushing, right? We just keep discarding stuff. So probably just discard like the. No need to.
I missed that.
Commit into
I missed what you said there.
more focus, yeah.
We're discarding
the
whaler.
Scald. Yeah. Oh, but what's it called now? Trophy catch.
Trophy catch, yeah. Whaler, harpooner. It's had so many names.
Yeah.
So we drew back
really
into Sigdriffer's right.
Mm-hmm. So he's not even fighting for his card, so maybe he has a bit of an. We could tempo out a little bit. Like we could go Scald, Morkvarg, and drop Horn, maybe. I actually kind of like the sound of that, to be honest.
Okay. What would be the other decision that we'd want to make here? There isn't really one.
Because the issue is, if we go Burner, there's a chance we draw into 2 good cards, right?
Yeah.
So I think we save Burner for next round.
So we'll go Scald, Morkvarg will appear here, and then we have the Horn row.
It's just big tempo, right?
Seems okay.
If we get like a medium round where we're a card up, it's all about balancing the round length and the card quality, right? But if we've got good quality and we're either a card up or in a short round, then we should just win.
Gimpy Gerwin. Haven't seen that card in a while.
I mean, it's a solid Gimpy.
We still have the 5 units here.
I mean, Erdem would be pretty big here. It's a shame we don't have that, actually.
Yeah, it's true. That's
like
what is that? 12-point Erden, 14 with the body.
Yeah, we could play Spear Maiden and then Erden, and that would be pretty huge.
I guess I feel like Horn is the commitment to the push, and this might be like.
I mean, do we just do it?
We just do it, or play Caldwell, but we would.
I
don't know if we'd want to do that.
I think we just drop the Horn here.
All right, aggressive. I like it. I like
It's
it.
just value, right? And like he has to make these points up.
Yeah, it's not like the horn in this Skellige deck. The horn is it's just one piece to a lot of different ways to produce a ton of points in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
It seems like.
it's just value. We might drop Caldwell. I'm actually hoping he just takes an Ike here. So that suggests he doesn't even have Ike, right? That's not a play you make if you have Ike. So maybe his plan here is to play Selkirk. I mean,
It could be Selkirk.
does
It could be I mean it could be Ockfist as well if he just needs something to play with Vess or Sucenthus' Blaze. It could be that as well.
I think what we should have done is before we played the horn is maybe just drop that Spear Maiden first and killed the guy at the back.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We're up 10 in this situation here on even cards. Caldwell's probably worth it because nothing is there's no unless it's I mean nothing is.
I'd drop Caldwell here.
Yeah.
I'd play back row. And I'd consider just passing after this.
It's just
should be fine.
Now he's got 20 points and he's got to worry about he can't do anything tricky with Caldwell here. This is the first time I've ever played Caldwell in a non-monsters deck, and I generally Vincent very.
Again, we really wish we had Erden in this round.
Yeah.
Because if we did, I would have said play in front row, and then we'd just have a huge counter. And sadly, that means he can probably make these points up fairly easily. But
the good news is he will be down a card.
yeah, he'll be down a card, and he still needs to make a 7-point play, right? And the good news is, like,
if it's Hubert, we have Ulfheden to at least crash into him if it just happens to be something like that.
There's 3 discard cards, and we also have a bad card in hand. We only have 3 discards left, so there is a consideration to just drop the Spear Maiden here. Is it worth it though? Can he overtake us? I think he probably could overtake us, right? So maybe we just take the path.
With Vess on the board, yes, he could.
Like just an Arkvist or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a good pass. He's got 6 cards in hand, so his engines aren't going to get out of control. We're card up. We've still got a lot of decent cards left. We have double last say.
Double last say. The only thing, and the fact that we have Ulfheden as one of those last says, it means the tall unit play wouldn't be as concerning. It is Arkvist.
And we get Arkvist out of him as well.
I do think that we could have pushed a lot. I think we had a better chance if we did kill the cavalry in the back with the Spear Maiden. That could have been better.
Yeah.
But Erden could have just changed everything. We could have just won this game.
If we had played the Spear Maiden before, and then Horn, and then Cavalry, we would have got another card out of him just for Spear Maiden. So that was perhaps a misplay.
So we probably want to get rid of both of these.
Well,
or because we have Burna, maybe not.
We actually want to mulligan the good cards here because we're going to draw into them guaranteed. So let's kick the card that we would only consider playing right towards the end, which is probably Erden.
Erden, okay.
Yeah. And this is perfect.
Keep this hand? These are the 3 discards,
can
right?
we check the other card in the deck really quick?
It's Herald.
So we'd like Herald perhaps as a proactive play. So let's kick Ulfheden. Okay,
great.
Nice. So we're going to draw into our whole deck. In these kind of situations, you just want, ideally, the cards you want in the deck are the cards which you would be playing later on, right? We could just lead off with Juta, right? Because she's going to tank some of the damage, because we're likely going to use a defensive Erden.
True, and if she dies, we have Sigdrifa as well.
Yeah.
Does it matter where she's placed? We're still playing on the front row first, just in case, right?
I'm not sure it matters too much, but yeah, we can play front row.
And are we using Bran's ability yet? It's just wasted, right?
Because, yeah, we'd rather it didn't hit the Butchland, right? So yeah, if he wants to deny the Erden onto Yuta, he has to kill it, and it just makes our Sigdrifa better, which is nice. Okay, now that is something. So he's gonna flip the Botchling. Okay.
He might not.
Oh no, he didn't. I mean, that was surely a mistake. So now what we could do...
Are we just looking to hit it as many times as we can?
Is we could use Bran to discard Skirmisher here.
To see what we got?
See if we... Because if it hits Botchling, it's fine, right? Because we're not losing value there, because he's boosted the Botchling. If it hits Anna, that's good. Nice.
Okay.
And now this might be the turn where we just drop a Spear Maiden, because we do need to drop a Spear Maiden.
And we want to just peg Anna just to make it...
Yeah, just peg Anna, and that makes it harder for him to keep it boosted.
I'm going to go ranged row from here, I guess.
So if he plays like a Sergeant here and boosts it up to 4, and flips the Botchling would actually boost the Sergeant, not the Anna. So now he flips it, and he loses value on his Botchling.
Okay.
Expired Ale, really? So he's playing Hubert? Okay.
Well, that's okay news for the Ilfidin, I guess, and now we just need to be worried about the actual amount of points we put on the board, if we care. I mean, we also could just hit Anna again with the Spear Maiden. We also could... Well, no, I mean, if we hit
Maybe
Anna...
just Harold? Maybe just Harold?
Just Harold?
Maybe Harold, play him back row, so the skulls go in the front, and we can play around Sabrina, right?
True. Yes, that is true.
I mean, we're not worried about a Trebuchet right now. We're more worried about Sabrina. And it means that next turn we can use a Harold ping and go Burner. So if he manages to boost Anna here, like, we've got a really good chance of just pinging her back down with Burner and like a skull proc. If he wants to deal with Harold, he has to use the pings now, which means he probably loses value on his Hubert. Selkirk.
Selkirk, so the pings are active. I mean, he may just say, "Hey, my only chance to win this right now is Selkirk, is Hubert, so I'm just not going to use those charges." Looks like that is the case.
I mean, he's not played this poorly. He's played this quite well. So I think we take a Harold ping here, because I think it's going to die, right? Hopefully we hit Selkirk or Anna.
Okay.
Nice. And now I think we go Burner.
Burner to discard these two here.
Discard those two cards, right?
That's right, that's right.
It's like protection from Sabrina, right?
New
Discard these.
bing bing. Right on to Selkirk.
I really like. We couldn't have really asked for better
That's
distribution of points there.
Yeah, this stuff definitely doesn't happen when I'm playing by myself. Definitely doesn't happen on stream. That's for sure. Oh, and there's Sabrina. So Sabrina's gonna get a little value back for us. So he's gonna hit us for 8, but we're gonna get 4 back.
Doesn't take it just yet.
Doesn't take it yet. We also could ping Sabrina ourselves if he want. Like
that's an interesting play. Because if we do that, we deny value off the Hubert, right? I think we do it.
Yeah. And what do we do after? And then we want to Erden after that, perhaps, or no? Sidrifus?
So maybe we go. Yeah, I think we do it. So we go Harold now, ping Sabrina.
Boom, boom.
And then we just take the Erden, because he can kill our damage stuff, right? He can deny the Erden.
Yeah, he's got Selkirk. Yeah, we get what is this? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points.
It's huge, and then we've still got Ulfadin for Hugebert and Sigdrifer just for 8 points.
Yeah, there are a lot of considerations with this deck. Definitely. Yeah, and then
the sequencing is it's never really straightforward, but also like the mulligans and like the passing and the pushing, like a lot of the time. You feel like, oh, I really want to fight for round 1 and stuff, but sometimes when you win round 1, you can't really push in round 2, either because of the deck you're playing against or just because of your hand. And what that means is you can't use your leader in round 2, and that can mean that you're not thinning as well, or it means that you have to play some bad cards.
So we are still competing with 3 points a turn here, but
so if we hit Hubert, we deal 6 damage. If we hit Anna, we deal 3. So it's still better to hit Hubert, right?
Okay. And we do that. Yeah. The order doesn't matter anymore at this point, right?
No, the order doesn't matter. As long as you play, yeah.
As long as I play that on the right row, we might be fine.
To be honest, I think we could do it just by hitting Anna as well. I mean, he put up a very good fight there.
We're close enough.
Kind of got a little bit scary.
Scars are all the trophies I need.
4-point difference. Yeah, that was a good. That was a good one. That was a good game. I like that.
Good game.
I definitely,
You
if
played that well.
if I was playing that alone and that was the game I ran into, I probably would not have won it.
What are we against here?
It's
Morvran,
Morvran,
right?
Yeah, Morvran.
Do we kick Sigdrifer out?
Yeah, and or well, yes, and well, we want to find Coral. We kick one of these, right?
Do we kick one of the 8-point dudes out because we have Yota, and it's a solid. Okay.
Oof. It's a lot of draws.
Maybe just keep the hand.
Yeah.
Like we've got a lot of discards here.
Yeah.
A lot of discards.
So opening up, so proactive plays, which we haven't had to make yet. I imagine that it would just be playing a veteran. Again, you're trying to teach me that there are a certain amount of bronzes we can play and a certain amount of bronzes we can play like in a game. So
Right.
I need to.
Now,
that's the stuff I need to.
Yeah.
Keep
so
on top
basically, other than the Scalds, if you exclude the Scalds,
Mhm.
it's just 3 bronzes, right? Now, if you don't draw Yota in round 1, you're probably going to want to discard her later on, right? Just to make your Sig stronger.
Yeah.
So if you have to discard Yota, it then means that your overall bronzes that you have to play is increased by 1. I'd play Yota here.
Oh, you play
I
Yota?
think.
Yeah. Oh, that we did play one game where we opened up with Yota, actually.
No
I remember.
One else dares face me.
There's a leader charge already. That's
And
nice.
he knows we run Sigdrifer as if he did. We were not even scared of Dragonstream. We're not scared of him bullying us. So maybe what we do here is we just play tempo and get some discards down. And maybe also... So I think we just play our Scalds here. Discard a Skirmisher.
We hold Bran for now because we're waiting to see if.
I guess we could use Bran first and then play a Scald. There probably is a difference, but I don't think we want to discard Morkbog. We like that tempo. Let's discard the Whaler.
Really?
Because we could actually consider playing a Spores this round on Yota. It's kind of risky though.
True, yeah. There's
Just gonna
Trey.
play heavy into like Leo. But how bad is it? So we play Spores.
Horn, I guess. Caldwell's not that
He
awful.
discards. Well, we don't necessarily need to discard the Skull later. We could just choose not to use our leader in 2. If we do that, we don't mill ourselves. We've not played any bad cards yet, so maybe we should consider doing that.
One of these here, I guess.
Yeah, I think we could play the 8-point guy, because I'm also...
Yeah.
Messiah onto Yota could be somewhat problematic later on. It's a real shame we don't have Burden in this opening hand. I'd use the tactical advantage here on the 4-point guy. Plays around Peter, right? It means we can use the TA without playing into Peter.
I assume that this is what you meant by 4-point guy, and not this one.
Yeah. So I
This
keep
guy has
calling
no
him that.
4-point guy. No, it's,
Sometimes he's an 8-point guy. Sometimes he's a 4-point guy. Confusing.
do we play
Ever
Scald
considered-
Morkvarg?
Thing maybe. We've played one bad card. We're happy to dump others, and it might be getting a little bit spooky because Morvran can slap down tempo, and he does have an engine on. We do have tempo ourselves, right? If we wanted to, we've got Hjalmar. If we want him, we've got Scald.
Yes.
Spores is 6 points, but honestly, this could just get like, depending how good his hand is, it could just get a little bit nasty. So I think we just pass.
Okay.
It's a good pass. He's already blown a leader charge as well, right? So.
Yeah, he only has 2/3 of a card left in his leader.
And we've basically got our graveyard fully enabled. We have 2 Sigdrifer targets, and we've got
Caldwell in there.
3 potential Hjalmar targets. So there's nothing cheeky that Asaya can do, really. So hopefully we get Coral. Coral would be absolutely lovely here.
Because we want to hold on to that. Do we? It's one of
So
these
let's-
Spear Maidens, I guess. Or no, it's one of the good cards, right? This is the back. So we're looking more like Sigdrifa is the thing that we'd want to put away. Or
Sigdrifa or Hjalmar. I think we kick Sig, right?
yeah, Hjalmar is. I prefer to keeping the control there as Coral. So
Nice.
good, right? So this
really nice.
hand's just good, right?
Honestly, we could consider just keeping this hand, right?
I have considered it. Oh man, Open's gonna be so good, man. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's really soon now. This is like actually like prep week. Like this week coming up right now is like super good prep week. Magni, huh?
So here's the play, right? We still need to play. How many bad cards have we played? Not that many.
We have played one. We've played
one.
We played the veteran.
Yeah. So I think what we want to do is play Spear Maiden and then use Leader and just discard the Scald, right? Because otherwise we're in danger of milling ourselves because of Treher. And that'll kill the Magni.
That's good.
We get rid of a bad card, we thin the deck, solve all our problems.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why this deck feels like why I can see this deck being difficult to make the decisions is that there is a gravity to every play. Like there is every card has such a thick identity in the deck. So I really like that, and I've never really appreciated Skellige very much, and I think that the way that the deck is understood in decks that fin to 0 or Lippy decks. Oh, he's got both in hand. For the record, I saw the lock before it was destroyed. It just like the way the deck has to kind of be deconstructed in the mind. Like other factions don't. I feel like I'm actually you need to play Skellige a certain extent to appreciate deck building more. What's the play here is Marauder, right?
The play is probably Coral. If you I think you just
go Coral.
Oh yeah, we've got 2 discards.
Yeah. Well,
oh, we could have gone Marauder. Yeah, my bad.
Sorry, I asked you a question and then I asked you to make a play.
I was too busy trying to ramble on about beta and stuff. And...
Well, you'll have time now. The Marauder is still a discard target, I guess.
Yeah. It's fine.
But 6 points fits perfectly into Coral's like effect, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We know he's holding Ox, which isn't going to be great for him, and we know that he's. We know nothing.
Yeah, we just dropped the Marauder, right? Because we're playing first. Okay, easy. And honestly, like this deck just has an unreasonable amount of points, right? Because it just discards all of its bronzes, so you just have like a perfect hand.
So the deck is Ifrit, Ulfadin, and Spores.
So we mulligan Erden. Nice. So yeah, we basically have the bad cards in hand. I think we'd like to have Ifrit because he might open with an engine fairly early. So if we mulligan Horn, maybe we get Ifrit here.
We didn't. We got Ulfadin there.
Well, I mean, we'll find it.
Man,
soon.
The game has been sped up to the point where it's like the old Gwent where you don't see your last mulligan when you click it. Like there is a time in old Gwent where the game was so fast you couldn't see that last mulligan. Proactive play here. Is it Herald?
So basically, we do actually have to play some bad cards here because of Traherne. Actually, that Traherne was so strong. So we could just lead off with this guy.
Because now we are. I mean, if it comes down to it, that could be part of an Erden row. Well, that's some information.
So yeah, Ifrit would have been really nice here because we could just use a Bran discard and Ifrit, right?
Instead of playing.
We might find it, right? Like we have a reasonable chance to find Ifrit.
It's true.
Like it's 1 in 3.
Yeah, so we could do that now on this, on anything, I guess. Do we want to use it on the skirmisher, or we want to save Burner for the skirmisher?
I mean, it doesn't matter, right?
Well, it doesn't matter. I guess if the points stay protected longer. I guess you could say that.
Yeah. I just feel like we know we want to discard the skirmisher, so like.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. If we go Burner here, we will find Ifrit, and then we can kill it off. Let's discard Morkvarg. And probably Spores.
Sorry.
Okay, keeping Spores is also fine, I think, because we can.
I'm just thinking about if he goes aggressive with Kyrenex, then that means that his Unicorn buff we could get it with the Spores, but we have Erden anyway. I can see why Spores would have been the discard, because that was it, right? That was it.
Yeah, because it might compete with Erden for value. But honestly, it's fine. Like this hand's not bad at all. I think we take the Ifrit though, right? So can we row stack just because of Horn?
Yes, right.
And
I forgot about Horn. Just in case there's yeah.
it's also good to row stack for Erden as well, so that if he does damage to your units.
Okay.
Okay, so he might be running Blue Dream.
Everything else seems pretty reactive, or it's just
Harold's
or
always gonna die, yeah. So I think we play Harold. Yeah, I think we go Ulfadin.
Oh, Alphadin. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get much better against Morvran, right?
Asira would be better, but it's the
No, it'd
same,
still
right?
be
It's
the
the same
same, right?
amount.
Still
It is
3
the same
points.
amount. Yeah.
And I don't think we use Harold because we might need those skulls, right? Maybe just spores here.
Seems fine. Erden shines much brighter in monsters matchups. I imagine it's just you definitely don't have a hard time finding targets. Although I know that this deck appears to have a lot of good options on the friendly side of the board as well. Oh, Gimpy,
Right,
where
so
are
he's
you?
gonna go for Vreemdy, right?
I imagine, yeah. So that's actually good for Erden because 3 of them are on
Yeah.
this row. Or we can kill one of them with Hjalmar. We can kill the one in the back with Hjalmar, I guess.
Yeah, I like that actually because I don't think we're gonna get a huge Hjalmar, and that's gonna deny. It's still like gonna be a 7-point Hjalmar.
We also could deny the Ifrit by using it, but we can't kill the unit, so it's probably we
Right.
just want to use Caldwell, I guess.
Yeah. I wouldn't proc a score. I think it's you can maybe do that next turn. So that's why you don't proc a skull there.
Yeah, okay.
Shit, we didn't think about this, but this is maybe just making our Erden better.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I mean, he could put the unicorn buff on the back row, I suppose, if he was predicting Erden.
Do we just Sig Drifter here? Because if we have to horn the front row, we're going to give him an 11 PO as it is.
Yes, Leo. Yes. Okay.
So
Yes, we could do that.
we can Sig for Yuta. And
Yuta's going to go on the front row.
yes.
For the Erden possibility.
May Freya choose the victor.
Leo will definitely hurt us here. I mean, if he's got Leo, Vreemdy, and we might be a bit screwed.
Leo Vreemd and Horn. That would be a hell of a hand. We knew he had Serath though, because he had he had the Letho action there, so that's fine. We weren't using Herald anyway. Is this just the Horn turn?
Yeah, it's definitely the horn.
And we leave Yetta out of it. We do everything else.
Yeah.
We have a lot of points. Whatever he has, we do have a lot of points, and we assume that one of these plays is either a Unicorn or Vreemd. So we're gonna get Erden value one way or another, or it's neither of those cards, and he just won't be able to make up the points. Potentially.
Yeah.
The common folk, I care for them.
Damn.
So yeah, we play a bad Erden, but that's because he also plays a
Gets
bad
us-
card, right?
Yeah, it's true. That's the thing. Yeah, because Peter, right?
But-
Peter is. I didn't put him on Peter really, but.
It was a bad Erden there, but it was protecting us from potential lose. Yeah, I mean Erden can feel a little bit janky sometimes, but it's kind of
Crushes monsters.
It's only really bad in the situations where you're winning anyway, right? A lot of the time.